Cynthia. Undoubtedly the most popular champion in all of Pokémon. Cynthia is notorious for giving us the toughest champion battle in the games, and coupled with her presence and amazing design, she still remains to be a beloved character in the Pokémon franchise. Cynthia's popularity in the games is translated into the anime as she goes on to appear in the most episodes out of any champion besides Ash and Iris, having made a significant impact in the Diamond and Pearl, Best Wishes, and Journey series. Today, let's take a trip down memory lane and revisit champion Cynthia's lasting legacy in the Pokémon anime. Cynthia physically debuts in the anime when Ash, Dawn, and Brock are watching an exciting battle between her and Lucian on TV. Their moves clashed, but it was Cynthia who came out victorious, defending her title as the Sinnoh League champion. Soon after, Ash and friends encounter the Queen herself, who happens to be in the same town. But not before this, we get this funny scene of Cynthia having a hard time choosing between ice cream flavors.
But where would I put them all?
6.5 hours later.
I know! I'll take a triple cone with chocolate mint strawberry and cookies and cream.
That's narrowing it down. Finally.
That was an interesting way to spend half the day.
Imagine her at the grocery store.
Paul boldly challenges Cynthia to a 6v6 Pokemon battle. Cynthia agrees, probably because she knows the battle is going to last like 2 minutes, and to no surprise, Chimchar dead, Weavile dead, Murkrow dead, Torterra dead, and Paul forfeits. Reminds me of myself. This episode shows a lot about Cynthia, her love and concern for Pokemon, her command and gentleness in the way she battles. She even compares her younger self to Paul. And most importantly, it is during this episode where Cynthia mentions the most iconic quote and thesis statement of the Diamond and Pearl series.
When every life meets another life, something will be born.
Since then, Ash and Paul find themselves a new goal, and that is to battle and defeat Cynthia, which further adds another layer to the rivalry. What an amazing champion introduction. After disrespecting Steven Stone in the last series, Pokemon knew they had to give it their best at showcasing the champion of the Sinnoh region. Cynthia appeared in several episodes throughout the course of the DP saga. When Team Galactic tries to steal the Lustrous Orb from the Celestic Town Research Center, Cynthia effortlessly demolishes Saturn in a battle. Then she goes on to clock Cyrus's evil intentions, and he probably isn't the nice businessman that he appears to be. Cynthia further proves her significance in the story when she engages in a conversation with Chimchar, talking about its relationship with both Ash and Paul. Next, we see Cynthia defeating Aaron to defend her champion title, which she did quite easily with Gastrodon landing the final blow. Maybe Aaron had already defeated Garchomp prior to that, who knows? In the Team Galactic final arc, Cynthia showcases how cool she is by literally death-threatening Jupiter. Still not as badass as Dragonite Hyper being a Rocket Grunt, but badass nonetheless. It is during this arc where we really get to see how extensive Cynthia's knowledge is about the Sinnoh time-space legends. This archaeologist has always been a source of wisdom and knowledge for Ash and friends. When Cyrus gets his control over Dialga and Palkia to create a new world, Cynthia is quick to figure out that destroying the Red Chains will free the legendary Pokemon and stop Cyrus from executing his plan. With the help of the Lake Trio, Cynthia, Ash, Dawn, and Brock were able to destroy the Red Chains and stop the creation of the new world, which Cyrus still enters into. However, the energy forming around Mount Coronet threatens to engulf and annihilate all of Sinnoh because Dialga and Palkia weren't totally free yet. But because of the power of friendship, the Lake Trio and the DP Trio managed to free the gods of time and space. Cynthia then makes a remark saying that it is clear that Ash, Dawn, and Brock truly care about Pokemon, and they will definitely see Azelf, Mesprit, and Uxie again. After all the Team Galactic shenanigans, Cynthia takes a backseat and watches the Sinnoh League unfold, especially taking a closer look at Ash vs Paul. Here she observes how their relationship has evolved and translated into the battlefield, even noticing how one influences the other on their battle styles. After the battle, Cynthia senses that Ash goes on to look for Paul. She perfectly narrates the closure of Ash and Paul's story with these lines.
When every life meets another life, something will be born. Today's battle certainly gave birth to something between those two as well. And that's connection.
She even predicts that one day they'll both be entering the Champion League. And spoiler alert, she was half right. Oh yeah, she also awarded Tobias with the Sinnoh League trophy, and we all know she obliterated him later. Cynthia's final episode of the DP saga showcases her again defending her champion title, but this time versus Flint. Ash, Dawn, and Brock are closely watching this battle on TV, and Ash foresees himself and Infernape battling Cynthia in the future. And spoiler alert, he's half right. After a hard-fought battle, it is Cynthia who comes out victorious as Garchomp ends Flint's Infernape with Dragon Rush.
Can anyone beat her?
Yeah, I can! That came out of nowhere.
One series later, Cynthia graces our TVs again by returning for the Meloetta arc in the Best Wishes saga. And some things never change, as she's still having a hard time deciding on which ice cream flavor to get. Honestly, totally same. Cynthia encounters Ash, Iris, and Silent, and she tells him about the upcoming Pokemon World Tournament Junior Cup Tournament of the World in Lacunosa Town, and she's asked to perform in an exhibition battle. Along the way to the seaport, she almost hits this injured Meloetta with her car, which proves that Daisy is a better driver. They quickly try to treat the mythical Pokemon as Cynthia delegates the task to everyone else. At one point, Cynthia receives an urgent call, so she has to go right away, but it turns out she just forgot some of the change in the ice cream store. She never fails in the comedy department. Being a strong dragon trainer, Cynthia is boldly challenged by Iris to a Pokemon battle. Of course, Cynthia has to end the battle much earlier as to not cause any further harm to Arceus, but not before Garchomp takes a good hit from the baby dragon. Was Cynthia scared of Iris so she ended it? I don't know, but they do battle again later on, but more of that later. Anyways, everyone soon arrives at Cynthia's villa in Undella Town where they meet up with Dawn and have a fun time together. In Lacunosa Town, our comedy queen wastes no screen time as she instantly roasts Alder at the beginning of the episode.
What say we forget the tournament and grab some lunch?
I think you'll be dining alone as usual.
The Junior Cup opens with Cynthia's exhibition match against her friend and Unova's Elite Four Caitlyn. Garchomp and Gothitelle give an amazing battle that's a mixture of power, elegance, and grace. The battle ends in a draw due to the time running out, but we all know Cynthia was going to win if it lasted longer. Throughout the Junior Cup, Cynthia continues to be a good champion and role model to the younger trainers. She helps calm Dragonite down and gives Iris some words of wisdom on dealing with Dragonite. And she also bids good luck to Trip of all people as she enjoys her ice cream that probably took her about 30 minutes to decide on. When the Junior Cup is over, Cynthia referees Ash battling Dawn in her villa as she makes another great narration that focuses on the trainers, Pokemon, and the bond that they have with one another.
Watching trainers battle reveals much of what they've experienced along the way. Ash, Dawn, Pikachu, and Quilava are putting everything they've learned on their journeys right out there.
The next day, they all part ways as she decides to stay in Lacunosa Town to help clean up the tournament. After learning that her villa is attacked by Team Rocket and that Meloetta is in danger during Operation Tempest, Cynthia assists in battling Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus and foiling all of Giovanni's plans. Looking back at it, Ash and friends actually spent a lot of quality time with Cynthia and Best Wishes. They stayed in her villa, experienced some amazing adventures together, and overcame lots of struggles together. Ash and friends soon wave their goodbyes to Cynthia, but we all know that deep down, his dream of battling the Sinnoh Queen is still alive and burning more than ever. So let's fast forward to Pokemon Journeys, and we learn from Volkner that Cynthia has joined the Pokemon World Coronation series and has already found a place in the Masters 8. There's no questions about it. I remember when people were making theories about who was in the Masters 8, Cynthia was definitely a shoo-in. And this only makes Ash train even harder, making us fans even more excited for their upcoming battle. Of course, the Pokemon Company loves Cynthia, and the fans love Cynthia, so we got lots of episodes that involve Cynthia and Journeys. In Johto, Cynthia helps solve the Eternal Darkness problem by stopping Unknown from confusing people with all of their illusions. Then, when portals to an alternate world appear in some areas of Sinnoh, Cynthia takes charge and investigates this phenomenon. She even battles the alternate world Team Rocket, who are forced to retreat thanks to the help of her Komodo, which we never see again, much like her Glaceon. And then we have the Arceus Chronicles, a side series that holds a special place in my heart because my review of episode 1 of that series was my first ever video to reach 1 million views. In here we get to see Cynthia in a gorgeous Hisuian outfit giving a lecture about Old Sinnoh and organizing a catching competition where trainers try to catch one of 3 Hisuian starters. Soon after, they are alarmed with something strange that's happening in Mount Coronet, and we later find out that Team Galactic has actually been revived. The Galactic Admins are trying to open a space-time gate to bring Cyrus back with the help of Heatran and Arceus Fireplate. This experiment endangers Sinnoh as Heatran becomes this huge ball of flame that burns everything in its path. Obviously, Cynthia easily deals with all the Adamins using only her Rose Raid, but we get to see some cool moments like Cynthia working together with Brock's Krogan and Blissey, and Brock working together with her Garchomp. Cynthia, Ash, Dawn, Go, and Brock, with the help of Arceus, eventually put an end to this horrifying event, having ensured the safety of all Sinnoh citizens. Several episodes later, it's finally time for the long-awaited Masters 8 tournament. Cynthia is of course in the Masters 8 along with Ash and Iris. She has placed second, implying that she is the second strongest trainer in the world, just behind Leon. Backstage, she is taking a selfie with Iris and Diantha, and when it's time to shuffle the matchups, it's revealed that Cynthia is battling Iris in the first round. In what is considered as the best battle of the Masters 8 quarterfinals, Cynthia displays her masterful skills as a longtime champion. Even if Iris scores the first win of the match, Cynthia's Milotic quickly revenge kills both her Excadrill and Dragonite with its powerful tactics. The match has come down to Haxorus vs Garchomp, which starts out pretty even, but Cynthia decided to give it her all by suddenly whipping out her Keystone, surprising everyone including us. With Mega Garchomp on the field, Iris and Haxorus no longer stand a chance, giving Cynthia the win and advancing her to the semifinals where she battles against Ash Ketchum. But before her battle with Ash, Cynthia confesses to her good friend Diantha that she plans on retiring from competitive battling after the Masters 8 tournament. And little did we know that this information will turn out to be the juiciest part of the tournament. But now, the time has come for the battle that many of us have waited for more than a decade, Ash vs Cynthia. I'm sure we can all agree that most of the battle was great. It starts out strong with Spiritomb taking control of the match, defeating 2 of Ash's Pokemon right away. But after a counter shield ploy by Ash's Pikachu, which Cynthia recognizes from the Sinnoh League, Spiritomb has finally been taken out. But Cynthia knows powerful Pikachu can be, so Spiritomb brings Pikachu down with its Destiny Bond attack. The battle continues with Ash and Cynthia winning battles back and forth, a beautiful display of strategy, power, and might. At one point, Ash's Surf Edge severely injures Cynthia's Garchomp, which causes Cynthia to Dynamax her healthy Togekiss rather than Mega Evolving her Garchomp. Dynamax Togekiss is definitely the smart choice against Ash's final Pokemon, Lucario, but her refusal to utilize no other Maximus but Max Airstream gives Lucario the opportunity to wear his plot armor and punch Togekiss to the ground. The battle concludes in a boxing match between Garchomp and Mega Lucario. It is here that we learn that Cynthia actually raised Garchomp from an egg, and they've already been partners ever since Cynthia was a little girl. Garchomp's moveset was composed of Stealth Rock and 3 Dragon moves, but no single Ground-type move. Make that make sense. The boxing match intensifies as both Pokemon attack with all their might, resulting in both of them falling down. But it is Lucario who manages to stand up first, giving Ash Ketchum the win. This battle also allowed Cynthia to realize that she actually doesn't want to retire from competitive battling, so thank you, Ash. Okay, remember the juiciest part that I mentioned earlier? So just before Ash vs. Leon, a Pokemon World Coronation Series news reporter shocks the audience with breaking news saying that according to an insider, Cynthia is planning to retire as a Pokemon battler. So where do you think they got this information? It has to be Diantha who snitched on Cynthia. Here's the evidence. At the beginning of Ash vs. Leon, Cynthia and Diantha are seated together on a couch so far from each other. Clearly there's tension here. But as the battle progresses, Cynthia and Diantha sit closer and closer together, showing us that the spectacular battle between Ash and Leon has mended their friendship in the most subtle way. In the end, Cynthia and Diantha happily agree to have a friendly battle together. Let's all just hope that she changed Garchomp's moveset beforehand. And that is the final time that we see Cynthia on our TV screens. What an iconic champion who not only displayed her top tier battling prowess, but also one who touched the lives of many Pokemon characters while giving us some of the funniest moments along the way. Cynthia has cemented herself so well in the Pokemon anime that I know that her legacy will never be tarnished until the end of time. Cynthia will always be one of, if not the best champion in the hearts of many Pokemon fans. Do you love Cynthia? Do you love Cynthia more than she loves ice cream? If so, comment down below your favorite thing about her, your favorite ice cream flavor, and how long it takes you to decide your ice cream flavors. Also, comment which character you would like me to talk about next. But as always, it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.